Should NetEase add roll queue to Marvel Rivals? I've seen a ton of people talking about it, and I want to do something a little different and weigh the pros and cons. Essentially, if they do add roll queue, I'm going to be playing my best role. Let's say I play tank, and I'll be playing with other people in their roles at their best role. When you have flex and people have to change roles onto things that they're not as good at, you're basically dealing with people that aren't at your skill level, and it overall weakens the team, and they have admitted to it when they are pairing you in matchmaking. If they add roll queue and it's 2-2-2, honestly, the dog triple support meta would be bust. I hate it when the team swaps a triple healer, and it's just super toxic, and it's not fun to play against, and it's really cheesy. However, I do think that not having roll queue does add a ton of personality to the game, and this obviously makes the game less competitive in a way and makes it more of the casual experience, which they have claimed that they want the game to be. The devs say if they did add roll queue, that the flexibility with the team ups would not be as robust, and I actually saw Mark Deasy talk about this, but when it comes down to it, and the really useful team ups are the meta ones like Emma Frost, Magneto, and Psylocke. So all these random team ups like Groot and Jeff the Landshark are pretty much worthless and useless. Now, I do think one con of adding roll queue would be the inability to flex. I cannot tell you how many games I've actually won by me swapping from one role to the other, or somebody on my team swapping from a third DPS to a tank, where we've actually won the game. And maybe that's because it was a good team comp, but having the ability for people to drastically swap roles, a can of worms that we might need to look at. Another con with adding roll queue would be the engagement, because queue time would go up. Some people might not want to sit around for long queue times, and they're already doing some kind of tracking of the roles that I play, maybe like a soft tracking of roll queue in general. So I don't know how beneficial it'd be or how engaged people would stay on the game if they have to wait longer to get into the role. But if the quality of the match is better because of roll queue, it might be something interesting to test out. Another pro or maybe even con to you is they're going to need to deal with the ranking system, because if you have different roles, different queues, just like they did in Overwatch, you're going to need to reset the role or somehow attribute your rank to whatever role you play the most. But I do know one thing for certain, that it doesn't matter what we think, because they have doubled down and say they're not adding roll queue anytime. Hey, maybe if the community barks loud enough, they might do something about it,